Hey,
Hey there.
how are ya?
I'm doing well. How about yourself?
Fantastic. Happy solstice.
Yes, happy solstice. Not something that we normally do, actually. We've never done
Yes.
a solstice show, as far as I
Here
know.
we are.
What do you
Here we
think?
are.
I don't think
I
we
think it's
have.
great. No, we haven't.
Like on the actual
No, yeah,
on
on
the
the
actual
actual
solstice.
day.
So,
Wow.
yes. So, yay.
Yay for us.
Yeah. So, I thought it might be fun to come on and talk a little bit about our traditions, our solstice traditions. Um, give some advice on some things that people could do to kind of get into the solstice vibe and and also kind of offer advice on a look ahead as we turn over into, common era 2024.
Very exciting. Very exciting.
I can't Where did the year go?
I have no idea. It was
I
one
was
hell
just
of a
getting
year,
used to
I
it
have to
being
say.
2023.
Nah,
So
every year it just keeps on moving, keeps on moving.
I'm like, "How is this possible? How is it possible?"
I have no idea. I mean,
Ugh,
we're doing the thing and all of a sudden we're here.
yep.
I'm trying to sign us in
Oh,
for yeah, our all of our things. Okay, I think we are.
oh, I definitely set it up to go to Gallows Hill Witchery.
Yes,
So it's going
for
to
it to be
Gallows Hill
up
Witchery for sure.
Pentagram and for it to be up all over the place. So
Awesome.
here we are. It is honestly it's my favorite time of year as you. There's
You
so
have
many.
always definitely been. Remember when we used to do that winter frolic?
Yep, we used to do an event and Yule. The solstice is my favorite time because it's all about coming together. Okay, and it's all
Yes.
about camaraderie and gathering and food and memories and nostalgia. It's not, I understand this is, a little goat time, a little Capricorn time, but for a Cancerian, it just warms my heart. I have so many memories, not just for Yule, but for Christmas and my family. It was always a very, very sacred, special time in my house. Yeah.
Absolutely. Couldn't agree more, and it's melancholy for me. This is a rough time of year now for me personally. You know, the loss of my mom really weighs very heavily on me. But I it does cause me to really, really think back to, so many incredible memories. I was so lucky, um, to have her in my life for as long as I did and so many amazing memories. And I was just going back over some old videos of her, which is wonderful because I can hear her voice. Um, those are just treasured videos now of her reading poetry or her, reading out of a book or what have you. And it's just, and I have some conversations, some taped conversations as well. But, this is a time where we really do think a lot about those who have, left us in the physical sense, those who have moved on in the physical sense, and they're still with us in spirit. And so this is definitely a time of the ancestors for all of us, really, whether you actively acknowledge that or it's just sort of in the air around you. So that's definitely on my mind, and a lot of the things that my coven does pertain to that. And so there are definitely, there are traditions of, like you mentioned, feasting together, breaking bread together, the whole idea of actually sitting at the table together, which is tough as people get sort of strewn around the country, or, they like move away and go to different places or have different families of their own and pulling them in different directions and everything. I think back to the time when it was so seemed so easy to get all, myself, my cousins, and everybody all together in one spot. So
Mhm. Yes, over the
thinking of
years,
all that.
I've gone away, you get away from connecting with extended family. We're only children. I mean, we raised only children.
Yep.
And so at times, friends will be far more, I don't know, present in your life. But I
Yeah.
do. There's the time I miss my cousins. I miss my aunts and uncles. There's a lot of happiness and sadness in the air this time of
Yeah,
year.
definitely. Definitely. Now, did you pull a card for us to focus
Yes,
on?
I did. I did, and it is the Eight of Cups.
Ooh.
Part of that, and I pulled it, and I was going to go with it. I know it's not always the most happiest of cards because at times a lot of people view this as a card of abandoning or walking away, okay, and leaving stuff behind. And maybe that's what we do in the new year, okay, because we are also celebrating the new calendar year. And we have to let go of what didn't work for us in the past. And hopefully, we learn some lessons in 2023 about what is important and what is it that we can carry for another whole year. So this is a time to really look deeper. When I research this card, I often hear a lot of the terms of withdrawal. Withdrawal seems so negative to people, but we have to at times withdraw so we can be stronger people. A lot of personal introspective, like to maybe examine your shadow self. Maybe you're feeling fatigued. Maybe you're just like, you're just done. You're just freaking done with this shit. And you're like, goodbye. I got to get out of here. But it's also things that aren't serving us. We have to go passionately into the future. What is it that works for you? You can't just carry someone else's load just because you feel it. Eventually, you will grow to resent that person. Okay,
Yeah.
so it's about creating maybe new boundaries too. This is telling us, even though you have those mountains there and around you, there is a path. There's a clear path to get the hell out of what is causing you emotional strife. Take it, even if it does mean disappointing people and walking away and taking a minute for yourself. You have to worry about yourself. Disassociation is not such a bad thing. You got to fucking get out. And I'm a person who has received that. Like, I have seen friends, need to hibernate or walk away, and it doesn't feel good. Don't take this shit personally.
Yeah.
Okay. And because trust me, I'm a Cancerian. I will check out of your life and pop back in another couple of weeks, and I'll be all refreshed and ready for something new. All right.
Because you
Everyone
go
needs,
into your shell.
yes, we all
You
need
guys pull into your shell.
doing our things. Mental health breaks. Mental
Mhm.
health. Mental health at this time of year matters. Not everyone wants to see your face every Christmas. Not everyone wants crowds around them for the solstice and for the new year. Okay. I'm hoping to celebrate the new year in pajamas on the couch with a remote control. There's just too many damn human beings. And I love you all. I love you all. But I'm realizing I push myself to the limits. And then I'm sitting here going, why? Why does no one want to go out and do anything? You know why? Because we're all crazy. We're all crazy right now. We have to make everyone happy. Family, parents, just, it's okay. It's okay. Run away.
Everybody is getting pulled in a lot of directions. And I think this is a time when we're all going to turn inward. This is our version of hibernation. We don't really hibernate the way like bears do, but we do pull inward. So this is a time of year to look inside. And this is definitely a time of year to basically be like, yeah, I need to reassess. And as we're, Mercury retrograde, I know Tim's going to bring this up, that whole reviewing the year, reassessing where we're at. and maybe recalibrating based on kind of what we just went through the final harvest. We just got through all of that. And so now it's time to basically say, like, okay, where did this turn us out? What results did we get? What results did we get? And where should we, now be putting our energy? I did, go over some energy work with my coven, and we talked a lot about where you put your energy. Where are you receiving? Where are you giving? Where are you receiving? And, take a look at where, and literally assign, like percentages of your, to where you're devoting that energy and where you're drawing it from, and figure out if are you in balance? Are you imbalanced? Etc. So I would like, in the old tradition of tea time, I would like to go ahead and pull an oracle card, just to say, like, okay, what is our contemplation as we are turning this part of the wheel? What should we be contemplating? I did not prepare this, obviously. I'm doing it on the fly, like right in front of us. So I'm just going to cut this deck and we'll see what's here. Oh, this is supercharged. Oh, this is supercharged. Laziness. That is a supercharged word, especially for neurodivergent people, especially for people with ADD, ADHD. The idea of laziness. That is a struggle. That is a struggle where shame and guilt rises up. Negative loops from childhood start playing in our heads. The idea of what is rest versus what is laziness. What is a required break, like you were just bringing up, a required break from the madness, and what is going to get considered laziness, based on, that can be based on a lot of things. It can be based partially on how we were raised to think about rest, what the expectations are that we've carried into ourselves. What are the expectations that are placed on us by the people around us, by our partners, if we have children, by parents, by employers, etc. What are the expectations? What is, because honestly, that person looks to me like they're having a good time relaxing. So when you think about that whole walking away of the Eight of Cups, and you think about that break that you're encouraging, this is a time when a lot of people do take vacation. Let's face it. We've got the use it or lose it people that are trying to use up vacation in December before it rolls in January and then it disappears. We've got kids that are getting breaks from school, and also teachers that are getting breaks from school, whether that's grade school, college, etc. So this is a time of year where we are thinking a lot about taking a break. But for those of us who are entrepreneurs, we have to balance those breaks with the work. And, we have to think about a lot of the planning that we're doing for the coming year at this time. I've got to nail down some stuff myself for Spirit Beacon. I've got to nail down some things for the classes that I'm going to host in the coming year. There are so many things. My mind is in so many directions, and I know yours is too, Leanne. And I'm sure a lot of people listening too. So it's like, that is, I'm going to kind of piggyback on what you were saying. And it's funny because this is a retrograde time. So this is a time to relax, because we got all those beautiful words that come out during retrograde. And so we should actually honor taking a break. Even weightlifters know that you build muscle on rest days. So there's another RE word, REST, rest. So we have to accommodate that rest. If we don't, the universe will book it for us, right, Leanne?
Yes, it will. You will get a checkout whether you want
You
one.
will be forced to rest.
Yeah.
If you do not rest, they will find a way to make sure that you do. So, I charge you with the idea that you are actually going to make time for yourself in and amongst all of the things that you need to do for others. If that's getting a facial, if that's just shutting off your phone for the day and being in pajamas and having a pajama day, whether that's a day of whimsy where you go out with your bestie and you just have a day where you're together and or we go on a hag ride, or whatever it is, where we make a time for ourselves and what our souls need for nourishment, because it's super important. Self-care.
Damn straight.
Absolutely. Now, I want to talk a little bit about the herbs and stones that are going to help us accomplish our goals at this time. So, and I don't know, I know we have a stone of the month graphic. I don't know if we have the herbs of the month, but I will.
You have a graphic.
You have a graphic.
No,
all right.
I don't have a graphic.
Oh, you don't have a graphic. But I don't know if Lou made one of those little things that says like herbs of the month. But if you want to put the stone one up, I'll talk about the stones, and then Leanne can do the herbs if you want. Oh, he did. Nice. Leanne, go for it.
Oh, he did a graphic.
Herbs of the month.
Oh, okay. It's herbs of the month. Well, it is the solstice, and the solstice has certain herbs that kind of, that connect with it. And Blessed Thistle is actually one. And I did a TikTok on Blessed Thistle. It is linked to the planet Mars. It is a fire. It is a fiery, wonderful herb. And it helps to strengthen and protect magic and gatherings and cleanses a beautiful area. Cedar is also pretty amazing. It is influenced by Jupiter, and it helps in healing and brings confidence and prosperity to the season. Okay, but now we're going to get into mistletoe. In mistletoe, sacred to the Druids, it is a wonderful, wonderful symbolism of peace. Okay. And it actually is good for your health. But I don't know. I think you would have to get that prepared by somebody who's an herbalist.
Yeah, you have to be careful because mistletoe can be poisonous.
It can be poisonous. It can actually make you bleed. And I think that is very interesting that it is what we smooch under, you kiss underneath the mistletoe, smoochy, but it attracts love and fertility. All right. There is also cinnamon. You cannot have Yule without something that's delicious and has cinnamon in it.
Right.
It awakens the mind and brings forth strength and prosperity. It is a warming spice. It is vital to life and the sun. You have to think of that spicy, wonderful, shining cinnamon. And it is actually, so a lot of these herbs, even though that they're connected to different planets, they just remind me of warmth. All right.
Oh,
What is
yes.
it, when you're having a cup of cinnamon tea, or if you're having some apple cider with a cinnamon stick in it, you're thinking warmth, you're thinking togetherness, but you're also thinking what's good about cinnamon? Digestion, because you're stuffing your face. I'm sorry, you are. You're eating the foods and you're doing your things. And
True.
I think it's really, really important. Pine has that amazing masculine energy that reminds us of the god that is returning to earth. He symbolizes life and rebirth and resurrection. So like that's why we have these gorgeous trees in our home. I don't know. I wish Does everyone have a tree this year? I actually do.
We just have a little artificial one that Leslie got us. We have it up. It's just a little artificial one. And you know what? We didn't even go out and get the wreath. We still haven't gone out and gotten the wreath for the front door. We every year we get
You
a
get a
beautiful
wreath.
natural wreath for the front door. It's December 20. That is it. We are going tonight. That is it. We're
Yeah,
going and
just
getting our
go
wreath for the
next
front
door.
door. I am not going through this season without a natural, beautiful wreath on the front door. We're doing it tonight.
I do it. Like on this day, it's
Mhm.
like it's the peak of darkness, and we are celebrating the return of the light. And the light is promise and hope, and it's bringing in this wonderful solstice energy. It's about
Yes.
starting again. No matter where you are in your life, you can start again. This is the birth of hope. You know, this is where we're going to work on our strength and our gratitude and our hope. And, you know, this is a time to really think about the struggles that we had through the year and just release it. Just like that Eight of Cups. Release it, let go of what hurt you,
Yeah.
and welcome in the brilliant energy of the sun. I mean, this is your source of vitality. You're going to get through it. You're going to get through it.
Absolutely. I love all those herbs. I love to make a simmer pot. That's
Yes.
one of the things I really love to do at this time of year. It fills the whole house with the most beautiful scent. It also helps put a little moisture back in the air because when all of us are running our heat, because obviously where we're from, you got to run the heat at this time of year. The air gets really super dry. So having a simmer pot on the stove, I like to throw, obviously, got to throw some cinnamon sticks in there. Um, the star anise or star anise.
Star anise.
You got to throw some of that in there. Cloves, like I sprinkle a bunch of the cloves, little nutmeg, like all those beautiful aromatic spices going in there. You know, if you got some pine needles, sure, throw those in there too. But it's like it smells. It makes the whole house smell amazing for days. Like the next day, I will come home and open up the front door and I can smell the smell, you know. Your nose kind of goes blind to it on day 2 until you leave. And then you come walking back in your house and you're like, wow, it smells like that amazing smell. So anyway, I
I love
adore that. That's one of my practices I absolutely love.
that.
Absolutely love that.
That's
And let's
that.
talk about some stones. I want to talk about some stones for this time of year. So, colors that are associated with Yule are red and green, obviously, and white and gold, and yes, even black. And so, for the red, gotta go with garnet. The January birthstone, as we come into Capricorn's time, we gotta go with garnet. We adore garnets. Leanne and I love garnets. Garnets are just the juiciest red stone. They're so like, oh, I just adore them. I've loved them always. So garnet associated with love and sex, associated with our vitality, probably for its link to, it looks, you know, like blood. And so it's linked up for centuries. People have associated it with, you know, with our life force. So we are looking for that life force at this time of year when we're going into the dark time. And especially our ancestors were like kind of nervous at this time of year. Like, are we going to get through this worst time of winter? Nothing's growing. Our stock in store is going to keep us alive, et cetera, et cetera. So basically, that garnet is our link to our personal power, which we think a lot about at this time of year because we do resolutions. So we're looking for that energy of our goal setting and things of that nature. And garnet is going to help us with those things. For the green, I'm going to go with aventurine. There's a lot of beautiful green stones, but aventurine is associated with luck And that's one of the things we really need at this time of year. We need good luck. And so aventurine brings good luck. Not only is it associated with finances, so it's associated with our prosperity, our abundance, which we desperately need at this time of year. It's also associated with luck and love. And so it's good for relationships, guys. So aventurine is going to be my pick for green. White, got to go with howlite. Got to go with the howlite for white. This is a time when we're making resolutions, right? Howlite is excellent at supporting us when we go into areas where we need our willpower. It's also associated with wisdom, learning. So at this time when we might be learning something new or trying to, go into different areas of study, or, we're trying to learn from our mistakes, then we need that wisdom, right? So that's also associated with howlite. For the gold, I'm going to go with citrine, which conveniently I have garnet and citrine right next to each other. The gold of citrine reminds us of the sun. This is the returning of the light. And so what better stone to represent the sun than citrine? I absolutely adore it. It's one of Leanne and I's favorite stones. We used it while we were writing our books. It's great for mental clarity. It's great for inspiration and success. That is one of its superpowers, is success. And like for the runner-up stone, I would do pyrite. But anyways, citrine. So yes, have citrine around you. Success in your new beginnings, success in those goal settings that you have for 2024. And then finally for black, we're going to go with tourmaline. This happens to be what I call spiderweb tourmaline, which does have the hematite running through it. Tourmaline, excellent for grounding. Let's get very specific on that grounding. Dispelling fear, dispelling anxiety, which a lot of people have at this time of year, and dispelling negativity, banishing negativity. This is a great time to banish what we don't want. That 8 of Cups that Leanne pulled, that walking away. So let's have tourmaline help us with those endeavors, getting rid of things, negative things that we aren't going to carry into 2024. We're not going to carry those things. We're traveling light this year, and we're not taking those heavy burdens with us, and tourmaline is going to help us release it. So those are my picks for Yule, etc. going into 2024. Those are my picks. Those are the stones that you definitely want to place in your area. Tourmaline is excellent for protecting people and also spaces. So definitely get some of that into your space going forward. So those are the stones. And now let's pull in Tim SoaringWolf to give us the Astro forecast.
Hey everybody, how are you doing today? Happy Yule, a merry winter solstice, right? Man, you guys have just said some great things about a lot of things already. I was thinking about mentioning, but yeah, this time of the solstice and kind of going into our hibernation mode, this is just really supporting the energy of this month. It's funny because I have a list of rewords in front of me. I was going to talk about, being in Mercury retrograde. It's just a shift of energy. So yeah, it can be annoying, having to walk a different direction. Just like if you're walking backwards, you're using different muscles. It feels weird. It feels uncomfortable, but you're reviewing things, looking at things from a different perspective, maybe seeing things you didn't see before. So yeah, it's a little uncomfortable, but you're building new muscles, new perspectives. But yeah, all of the rewords I have in front of me, you said a bunch of rewords completely different than the list that I had. So that was kind of cool. But yeah, there's so many. But you said receiving. That was a really cool reword. We talk about receiving energy and recalibration. Of course, all the words I've got, reduce, reuse, recycle, repurpose, reaffirm, revisit, realign, reflect, reawaken, redecorate, rethink. So definitely you want to get the best of this Mercury retrograde energy. The rewords is one of the easiest ways to just focus on the rewords, focus on anything from the past, tying up the past, any project that you were working on that you want to kind of get ahead in. I kind of feel like at the times that I've done that, I have like twice the energy to get certain things done that in the past I had no energy to focus on or get rid of, right? So that is definitely a good way to get advantage of this retrograde energy. But I do feel like the energy of December has been a little different, a little heavy, just kind of tying up loose ends. We still have got Jupiter in retrograde, and he's going direct on December 30th. So at the end of this year, January 1st, be ready to just pop off, go fly sky high like the Falcon. This is the time to kind of remove some of those obstacles that we probably already know that we need to work on, but we can really just try to solidify the foundation to be ready to launch in January. So this month is all about, again, using those rewords, recalibrating, rejuvenating, realigning, all of those things. And also I like to mention during retrograde is about any kind of news you might get. Mercury is the planet of communication and media and all of that. So if you receive bad news during the Mercury retrograde, don't despair. A lot of times when Mercury goes direct, minds can change. So that's why they say you shouldn't sign major contracts or make major decisions, because Mercury is the planet of the mind. The minds can change when it goes direct. And I've seen from a business perspective, especially when I was in banking, a lot of loans, a lot of deals fall through during Mercury retrograde, just to be completely resurrected when Mercury goes direct. And it's just kind of really ironic and funny. So if you've heard really bad news, I actually got some bad news about something that I was really looking forward to. But it is, again, a realigning, recalibrating, and kind of releasing, letting go of something that I had high hopes for. But I'm hopeful that because it was something kind of a big bad news I received, I'm looking forward to a big good news at the end of this Mercury retrograde come January 1st. So again, going back to what you said, Leanne, having the hope, this is the time to look into that darkness, the end of Pandora's box, right? What was left was hope, and realigning that, getting that inner foundation so that we can really be ready to launch. Again, January 1st, we've got Mercury going direct. Jupiter will be going direct. So while growth has not been dead, it's been slow, because when Jupiter is retrograde, growth is slowed. But be ready for that energy to definitely shift, especially if you've got Taurus or Gemini in your chart. To 2024, Jupiter is in Taurus, and Taurus is all about money, property, the physical world, right? So this is a great time for businesses to flourish, for us to get that financial, physical stability in the first part of the year. And then it moves into Gemini, bringing us growth in all of the air element and the mind and communications, that sort of thing. But I wanted to mention, I'm talking so much about Mercury, but tomorrow is the Cazimi. So during Mercury retrograde, there's a time where Mercury kind of crosses right over the sun. So the Cazimi of Mercury is kind of a moment of clarity tomorrow with Mercury energy. So while Mercury retrograde can sometimes seem a little foggy, redirecting certain things, tomorrow should be a moment of clarity in regards to maybe what we've been asking for. So just keep that in the back of the mind for everybody out there that's listening.
What time is the Cazimi?
So that actually is, I just happen to have it right here. 1:54 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So it's on Venus Day, but if you're doing anything involving Mercury, candle work, that sort of thing, 1:54 p.m. is the Cazimi of Mercury in the sun tomorrow.
1:54 Eastern?
1:54 Eastern Standard Time. Yep. I like to call it as kind of they say a phrase, into the king's heart, the sun being the king. Ooh, and Mercury having the Cazimi, kind of like he's whispering directly into the heart of the king, something. So tapping into that Mercury energy tomorrow would be great. Absolutely. But yeah, you were talking about the simmer pots, and I love to do those ever so often, but I just started at the end, kind of washing my door with the magical charged water to bring in those good abundance energies. Pumpkin spice is always the nutmeg, ginger, cinnamon, and clove. So it's got all that money, abundance, energy, protection.
I think Joanne D mentioned that as one of her witchy tips.
Yes, she did.
Yeah, I just started doing that myself. I was
I
like,
love it.
this is a good little finish to that.
I love it.
Summer pot. Absolutely.
I love it. Sid says full moon on Christmas.
Oh yeah, absolutely. This month is not over. It's been a lot of shifts. I mean, Neptune went direct. I mean, we had the new moon when Jupiter was like square Pluto, so there was like kind of like a lot of intense energies. People kind of feeling forced. In a way to maybe that they've been doing a lot of things that they in their mind they think they have to do to be successful. That's that Jupiter square Pluto energy, which I made a little video about. It's really important just taking the moral high road in a lot of these situations, and you will easily outrun your enemies, all these dark shadows that Pluto kind of brings with that Pluto square Jupiter. But yeah, there's kind of that energy to want to succeed, to want to move ahead. And because we've got Mercury retrograde, Jupiter retrograde, us that are knowledgeable and know about the energies of the universe that's happening, we know this is the time to reflect and kind of reestablish boundaries, reestablish our foundations, and build, kind of just get that all order, because yes, January is coming. Mercury, after the Cazimi tomorrow, Mercury will go back into Sagittarius. So this first Mercury retrograde has been kind of serious with Capricorn energy. It goes into Sagittarius right in time for Christmas Eve to have some fun, have some connection, partying, absolutely. And then the full moon, of course, on the 26th. The full moon will be in Cancer, so it'll be a little emotional.
Leanne.
Spend time with family.
My son's birthday.
Oh, really? That's yeah. So full moon birthday is means it'll be a year of manifestations for him. So that's
really okay.
Full moon birthday.
Ooh, that's nice.
Absolutely. And
I wonder if I know what one of those manifestations might be.
No. Oh, yay! I'm happy. Never mind. Oh, and I'll be emotional and cement. Yeah. Never mind. Not gonna.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Hi. I love when they grow up and they
yeah, right. Yeah, still got to have those little escape plans just in case, it's the holidays. But yeah, retrograde energy. We got Mercury in Sagittarius, then the full moon in Cancer. Christmas looks to be pretty fun and exciting.
So I do before we say goodbye to you, Tim, I do want to ask you about your time in Salem, because this was your first trip to Salem, and you made it in October of all times.
Man. It was a long time coming. I mean, I didn't even realize that we have been doing this show for so many years. And I think that's awesome because the time has flown by, but we've been talking about it forever to finally go visit you guys, meet you in person. And that was amazing because I have connected with a lot of people online. My wife, we met online. She's, from Europe and was once a student of mine for astrology. And so I've come to meet a lot of people online, but they aren't always what you think or expect when you meet them. And that's just the law of things, I guess. But you were great, both of you specifically. But yeah, I even mentioned it on our October show that these girls are just as amazing in person as they are online. Basically what it is, what you get what is it? But yeah.
What you see is what you get.
Yes, that's what I was trying to say. But yeah, you guys have just always been amazing, and I'm just happy to see that. Yeah, you guys are real in person just as much, and I loved Salem. Man, I went there. So it was eclipse season. So of course, a lot of eclipse energies, and then there was indigenous people there. I didn't even think about that actually being a big thing, but I was so happy and honored to read at Pentagram on Indigenous Peoples Day. So that was really fun, and a lot of customers coming through. Of course, I was blown away just with everything. One thing I learned personally was about astrocartography, which is if you're looking at, and you can go to like astro.com and see this, but there are certain places that have different energetic sequences that interact with your own personal chart. So there are certain places you may go to and you're just like, you feel like you're at home, where there's other places you think you're going to have a lot of fun and maybe you don't, you have like a lot of problems. That could be like along a Saturn line or a Pluto line, Well, Salem for me is along a Jupiter line. And so this is one of the
Ooh.
best placements to have, just, you know, in regards to luck, fortune, but also spirituality. And I read the whole week, and it was just amazing readings. Even the little kid readings, those are the ones that really will stick with me. Talking about animal totems, and one in particular I'll just mention really quickly. I had gotten some evil eye stuff, and I got this little elephant with the evil eye. And I had never really connected with that animal myself, but I was like, you know what, I'm just going to bring it with me to Salem. I had it on my keychain on my bag. And one of the little kid readings we're talking, he's like, can we talk about animals? I'm like, yes, of course. And so I was like, which ones are you drawn to? And he said elephant. And I was like, you know what, I have something for you. I didn't know why I had this or why it came with me, but now I know why. And I was able to give that to him. And of course, we told his parents, you know, we don't want him to think he's stealing. But
Right.
he walked away, and I know he's always going to remember that experience. That's, you know, going to always be something of him connecting with his animal totem, but also having his first reading in Salem. I mean, everybody wants to have a reading in Salem, but I wanted to be a reader in Salem. So that was fun. I was super busy, of course. I did a live walk because Salem is just really beautiful to walk through, but also so people can kind of see some of the things there. I think that's still on my profile.
Nice.
I did that, yeah. But anyways,
Awesome.
you guys will have to check it out.
Yeah.
I didn't prepare a little video today. I wish I would have to share with everyone else. But Salem is definitely just a really nice place. People were so kind to have good luck. Possibly part of my Jupiter line there, but we did have
Definitely.
some, you know, the restaurants and that sort of thing, meeting up with old friends. And then, yeah, the eclipse energy, that was, you know, pretty cool. I learned to you got to be drinking a lot of water when you're doing a lot of readings, working with
Stay
spirits.
hydrated, my friends.
So that was, but yeah, this was, for me, it was cool to do this at least for full time for 1 week, because
Yeah.
I've always wanted to or aspired to see what it would be like. And so it's pushed me to even get more in tune with my spirituality, my personal business. And looking forward to next year. Hopefully
you'll come back.
definitely.
Would
Yes.
you come back and read with us?
Yes, I hope so. I hope you all are
Absolutely.
happy
Got
with me.
to. You got to.
And if you want to come in your coming off season, we would love to have you come and teach class.
That would be awesome too. I mean, it was for me and my wife, one of the very few places we've been to where we would say, let's move here. You know, if like everything aligned, it would be that easy for us to go there, because the energy that we experienced was just so amazing. And of
Yeah.
course, there's a diversity about Salem and a welcomeness, because it is witch city. So they welcome the taboo and the extraordinary and the weird. So being around that was, of course, just awesome. And it makes the city just a very welcoming, diverse. Even all the cops and everything that are around, you know, they're just very friendly. So yeah, people talk about East Coast and even people in Boston being kind of hard. And, you know, I experienced a really nice welcoming kindness Salem. So I'm looking forward to going back. I would love the opportunity to go back and continue to work at Pentagram here in the future. We never know what may happen, right? But yeah, thank you guys for letting me share that. Anybody who's planning a trip to Salem, plan, because there was a lot of things I didn't even think about. And again, the universe just sent some earth angels our way that really made a lot of things easy for us. But with that, I wish you guys the merriest of Yules and winter solstice. Remember just to kind of used all those words, and let's look forward to a big bang in January 1st. Mercury goes direct.
Awesome.
So
Woo!
take
Thank
care,
you.
guys.
All right.
That was
So,
great. We have stuff
One
to
more
look
thing
forward
that
to.
I definitely want to go through is makeup.
Yes.
Because one thing that I'll tell you is, this is the time of year when, you know, you're going to see family, you're going to see friends, you're going to go to parties, you're going to do something on New Year's Eve, you're going to, you know, whatever, right? So this is probably a time of year where a lot of people who don't even wear makeup all the time are going to be putting on makeup. So one thing that I'll say is when you're putting on that makeup, you can actually charge that makeup especially if it's a liquid, like a nice liquid eyeshadow, which I have like 2 different ones on to make this look today. So I have Iconic, and this one is kind of like a champagne color. And then I also have on a Natasha Denona Chrome Crystal. This is Chrome Crystal liquid eyeshadow, right? So believe it or not, a lot of makeup does have mica in it, which is a stone. Mica is basically part of what's in lepidolite. We have purple mica, right? Rock on, Gold Dust One. We have purple mica, yellow or golden mica, and other stones that we actually work with. And a lot of this is in makeup. So you can hold these in your, in your projective hand, which would be the hand that you are, whatever your dominant hand is. Hold this and charge it with your intentions. Charge it with your intention. If this is like a time of year where you're setting goals and stuff, charge it with your intentions. If you're going into a situation where you're going to be around people that are maybe you have a charged, kind of a supercharged relationship with, maybe you've had some tangles in the past or what have you. Sometimes we don't have the easiest relationships, even with family. Bounce the negativity away with it, right? You're putting on something that's like going to protect your, protect you from, other people's negativity, right? And I'm not saying people will knowingly come at you with negativity. As we learned in our Evil Eye program, many people will come at you with negativity that they don't even realize. Their jealousy, and things of that nature, where they're like getting you in a negative cycle. You can break that cycle. So basically, when you're putting things on your face, like I love golden hues at this time of year, because like we brought up that Yule, gold is one of the colors that is associated with Yule. This primer, I have a primer that actually has little flecks of gold in it. See that? So this is from Yves Saint Laurent, right? And it's a primer. It's a blur primer that literally has little flecks of gold in it. So that is, you apply that to your face, right? But also you're facing the new year. Like, let's say this is New Year's Eve. You're facing the new year. You're gonna, you're basically putting on, much like many witches do on Samhain, where we dress up like what we are hoping to pull into that new year. I plan to go all out and dress all, I have a whole like gold vibe going on for New Year's Eve this year, because I want to pull that energy, that success and prosperity energy into 2024. So I'm going to be applying things like this eyeshadow, like that primer, and even the lipstick that I'm wearing today, which has a gold, it has a gold sheen. Okay. I'm going to be wearing things that have that energy. My whole face is going to be bringing that energy forward. So you can actually work with your makeup to kind of enhance what you're wearing for crystals, what you may be carrying in your pocket for herbs, what you may be wearing as a fragrance that also is layering in those intentions. Especially, I mean, we talk a lot about how you layer a spell. You're not just lighting the candle. Maybe you're also anointing that candle with an oil that you're going to wear when you go out and meet that person, or when you go to that job interview, or when you, whatever. So that, and if you've got your bayberry candles, remember guys, your bayberry candles, right? You're going to do the bayberry candle spell, right? So that's the kind of thing where anoint that candle with an oil and then wear that oil. I mean, frankincense is a no-brainer at this time of year. Am I right? So frankincense, both for blessing and for purifying.
It's all
right,
great.
Leanne?
Yes.
We love frankincense and myrrh.
We live for frankincense and myrrh. Those are my favorite. That's how I cleanse.
That's one of the traditions of
Blessings and
of Christmas.
yes.
Frankincense and myrrh, right? The gifts.
It's the gifts that those wise men brought. And then
The wise men, they knew their stuff.
They knew their stuff. But you know who really gave it to them? It was the Befana. Just saying.
The Befana, yeah. I don't know that much about the Befana.
Befana was this lovely little old witch in Italy. She was minding her own business. She's cleaning her house. And these guys, these three men, they're lost. They're in Italy. Supposed to be in Bethlehem. So they stumble upon this lovely lady, and she gives them directions. They say, "This is how you're going to get to find this Christ child." And they invite her to come. They invite her. They say, "Hey, do you want to come on the trip? Maybe you can show us the way." She's got a broom. She's like, I got to be clean in my house. So they go. And she sits back and she goes, "These three guys, they're going to get lost. First of all, they're men. And it took them a lot to ask her for directions anyways." So he's like, gets on her broom and she flies. And she's doing the Befana thing. And she finds these guys. First of all, she gets to the stable. And the first thing she does is start cleaning all the rushes. She's like, "This place is a pigsty. A baby was born." And they're like, "Hey, do you want to stay?" She's like, "No." She drops off some oranges, maybe a little biscotti. Who knows what she did? But she got the hell out of there.
She brought a lasagna. She did the 7 fishes.
Maybe she brought all 7 fishes, all this stuff, So on Three Kings night, put your stocking out. The Befana may come by. She might leave you shit if you've been an asshole. But if you're a good kid, you're going to get some oranges and stuff, and they're going to take care of you. You're right, Joanne. A little pizzelle. It's all right. A little pizzelle.
Oh, my God. I love those things.
Yeah. We used to put ice cream in it. A little Nutella.
There's a recipe for those in Reading the Leaves.
And that is my grandmother's recipe.
That's your grandmother's recipe.
Yeah,
guys, that's one of the traditions that Leanne and I grew up with is the baking. The baking that goes on at this time of year is epic.
Crazy cooking.
Epic.
I'm completely stressed out, but I'm happy. It's good. Because then on Christmas Eve, if you come by my house, my mother will be there. You know what she'll do? She'll tell you if you have the molecular or not. If you got the evil eye. And she'll teach you how to do it, but only you don't catch her on Christmas Eve. It's done. You have to wait another year.
We are going to be in Connecticut with family, so I won't be able to swing by on Christmas Eve.
Well, there will be a next year, and let's do it all. Let's line read her up, and she'll just go, "And you are cursed, and you are not, and you got the molecular, and you don't." Yeah, I don't know how we do it all because we do solstice, and then we do solstice, and then we do solstice, and then when we're done with that, then we have to do Christmas because we have Catholic Christian friends and family. So then we do Christmas, we do Christmas Eve, and then we do New Year's Eve. And we really, really think we're not busy after October. That's a joke.
You get a little bit of a break. You get a tiny little break in November.
Thanksgiving.
Like a little 2 weeks or something, and then it all starts up all over again.
It's wonderful. I just think it's great.
I gotta kick this person off.
Annabella, whatever his name is. No, we do not. No one has a message for me.
Honest to God. So
no one has a message.
Just to remind everybody, we don't endorse anybody that comes into the comments and starts shilling for readings. We don't endorse any of that. If you want to get readings, go to pentagramsalem.com and book your readings with Leanne, with any of the readers there. That's who we're endorsing. So no, we're not endorsing anyone that needs to show up in somebody else's comments. Those readers aren't good. That's why they're out there hunting people on other people's lives. If you're a good reader, you'll never catch Leanne going out to anybody's anything and shilling for readings.
That's because I tell you to read yourself.
You'll be lucky to get an appointment with her. She's so booked solid. You'll be lucky to get into her schedule. So she does not need to go out there onto other people's things and ask people to message her for readings. It's insane. Anyway, so that being said,
yes,
in this season of giving, one of the things that is a tradition in my family is charity. So, please think about doing some donating where you can. There might still be some names on a tree. If you go into your local bank or any of your local places, they might do a tree where you can buy gifts for a child. Also, please think about asking at your local nursing home. That's something that I do in honor of my mom. Go and ask if there's anyone there that needs some new clothing or some new things that you could maybe provide for them if you can. And also I oftentimes will go with getting something for an older child. Like you can go through what used to be called New England Home for Little Wanderers, which they kind of redid their name, but I think if you Google that, you'll still find them. Anyway, there are also some teen children that are in the foster care system or other they have connections that they can get them some nice things. And I used to do that a lot because a lot of people love to buy for the little kids, but they don't necessarily buy for the older kids. And so I used to do that as well. So please think about doing a little bit of charity if you can. Help out where you can.
It makes it's good for you. It's good for the soul. Pentagram is now hosting Pentagram After Dark and a movie night, fun little movie nights.
I love that.
And that all proceeds for the ticket for admission is going to go to Hawk, which helps people with domestic violence and needing for shelter and home. So that's going to be on February 9th. And I believe in the spirit of love and the season of love, we are going to be showing the Last Unicorn.
Oh, nice.
Love story, but not quite a love story. And we're going to be doing this every other month at Pentagram. Come make donations to Hawk and watch a movie. We'll provide popcorn and people just kind of getting together and watching a movie.
Nice. That sounds beautiful. I love that. We weren't able to make the December, but maybe we can put it on the calendar and make it for the February.
I would love that. It's going to be, I would love for you and Kevin and your whole coven to come. It's only $10 for people to show up. And like I said, we're going to have snacky snacks and watch a movie and laugh, basically.
Awesome. Well, thank you for everybody that joined us today. And thank you to everybody that watches the playback. And we hope you have a happy and healthy holiday season, whatever you celebrate. And we look forward to seeing you again when 2024 rolls around. So many blessings from Salem.
Blessings.